Welcome to Mechs on Deck. This is Free Talk Friday. It's going to simply be just us chatting about keyboards. We'll be having members of our community join us, and on future episodes, we'll just, we want to talk about keyboards, and we enjoy talking about keyboards, and we would love to talk more about keyboards. So I'm Chewy. This is Osiris TV. And
Hi.
we're going to be doing kind of sort of an interview with our future guests, but today we figured we'd let you guys know what we have and what we love about keyboards. And we've done our podcast, the first two episodes, and we haven't really talked about, other than just GMK nines, which we're still very excited about. We have not really talked about anything that we have and thought you guys might be interested. So we're keeping it loose and just gonna have some fun with it.
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of chill and talk for a little bit.
Just hanging out. So, well, what we eventually plan on doing, and if you guys want to be on a Free Talk Friday episode, just hit us up in the Discord. The link is found below, and we'd love to get your guys' opinions on stuff, and we want as many people on here as possible, so that we can talk more. I mean, our community is all about keyboards, and we just want to talk about it.
Yeah, and if you want to pick our brain about anything, use it as like a little bit of a Q&A session, even if it's something that's not 100% about keyboards or something. You just want to talk to us about something or have a question about how we do things. It's a good way to kind of put ourselves out there and then let the community also get involved. So we're excited and we want to talk to you and we want to hear your opinions and see how everyone kind of feels about the topics we talk about each week.
Yep. So we're doing kind of questions we want to ask people as the simple stuff. What's your favorite Switch? What got you into the community? What's your favorite board? What are you most excited about? What's your least favorite stuff? What's going on with what group buys do you have coming in? So I'll ask you, Osiris, what is your favorite Switch?
Oh man. So it's funny because I feel like my favorite Switch right now is probably a Switch that I don't even actually have on my board, but I've used a little bit. I have in my actual work board, it's the orange 75 that you see in the background actually right now, is a set of Zelio V1s in the 78 gram variant. But my favorite is probably the 78 gram V2s. I know Chewy has some boards with them and they feel incredible.
Don't currently have any boards with them, but Lumina group buy is coming around the corner, and super stoked to get that board go. I did have them in a board and actually two separate boards for a while, but I've been mixing and matching, and I know that I like my V2s, so I was like, well, throw them on a future board.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
I've got Holy Pandas, like the true ones coming out from Mastrop, here in a couple weeks or a couple months, I guess at this point.
Hopefully,
it's about
hopefully in about a month and a half. Yeah, hopefully
6 weeks.
Hopefully they come out in May. So,
yeah. So I'm excited to try those, but I would say probably the 78 gram Zelio V2s are my favorite.
Messing with one right now.
Yeah, I have a Switch tester.
Get a Switch tester.
Yeah,
I will always say, get a freaking Switch tester.
In fact, I have a Switch tester right here that has two different of the Holy Pandas, the Jesus and the Yak Red Pandas, and then a Zelio V2, and then a box white for some reason. But just to try to figure out which one I like the best. And you know what? I love the Holy Pandas, the different versions, but Zelio V2s.
Zeal PC. We're not affiliated with anyone at the moment. We do not have any sponsorships.
Nope.
But Zeal, good job.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Because I thought that the peak was going to be Zelio V1, but I was wrong, and
Yeah.
I will admit when I was wrong and am wrong. And the Zelio V2 was fantastic.
And you know what's funny is I was actually sick for a couple days this week, and I ended up not being at work for a few days. And going back to work today, I didn't realize how much I missed typing on the Zelio, even though they're V1s.
V1s
They
are
just
still great.
they still feel great. They're broken in. They feel nice. Got a good sound. Great weight to them. Both Chewy and I love a little bit heavier. Those medium to heavier switches. So yeah. What about you, Chewy? What's your favorite switch?
I'm torn because I love me some Zelio V2. I think Zelio V2. You can shame me, you can crucify me, whatever. I think the V2 Zelio is one of the most tactile switches out there. Outside of like a box Navy, which that's not even fair because there's extra stuff going on there with the tactile bump. But the V2, when it comes to a truly tactile switch of a Zelio, is so tactile and so smooth and rounded off. It's such a pleasant typing experience. Um, but I personally, in my board right now, I have the Holy Jesus run. I don't remember the name of the guy that ran it. I apologize. I can look that up right now. But he, that was kind of the first jump back into Holy Pandas at the time. Hold on. Excuse me. At the time, Holy Pandas, they're what, three,
$5 a switch.
$2 to $5 a switch. You were lucky if you got $2 to $3 worth of switches, uh, or per switch. But the Holy Jesus came out, and I mean, we could talk for a year about how
The
much how that
explosion
entire
of
explode.
holy
We got
pandas.
the Yaks, and the Holy Jesus was
Now the
looking.
mints.
The mints are out now. I'm not going to be getting any because I just don't need them. But and then the T1 switches, they're supposed to be rivaling that, and the Zelio V2 was made to be better than the Holy Panda. But I got the Holy Jesus, and I put the 78 gram. So I bought V2s of the Zelio variety of 78 gram, and my old Zelio V1s. I took the springs out and put them in the Holy Jesus switch and lubed them with 3204. And oof, oh boy, that's
That's good.
probably it's probably my favorite. If it comes down to the sound signature, and it's weird saying that the sound of something would make me pick one over the other, but it sounds so good. And Zelios are not really known for their sound. But I mean, at the end of the day, who cares if you have headphones on? It doesn't matter. You're going to be typing or
Right.
something like that. But I think the Holy Jesus just edged them out. But I also have not lubed my V2 Zelios. So, and I plan on lubing them for the Lumina build. And a month after those are done lubing, or those are done breaking in, I'll probably have to come back and reassess. So
Yeah. We're both very excited for Lumina.
Lumina, Telestron, we hope to get you on, but like, you're doing awesome work, and shout out to you, man. I know that you took in quite the task of
Quite a
all
lot
these
of
boards,
boards.
quite a lot of boards, and multiple different varieties with brass and aluminum and polycarb and all of that, and all the different
Yeah.
color variations, all of that. Like, shout out to you, man. And you let me change my order, which I'm annoyed that I had to, because I should just make up my mind. But you know, shout out to you, Telestron.
Yeah. Awesome dude. Awesome dude. Speaking of why you had to change your order for the Lumina, what would be your favorite layout, Chewy?
Um, my favorite actual layout is split backspace when keyless. On the Tofu, I think it is perfect. I don't really care about the Windows key. I don't use it that often.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I love about the HHKB, it just those cutouts make it look really unique and gives it that next level of aesthetic to it. And I think it's perfect. I don't use the Windows key, and I can map it to something different if I really need it. But I'm pretty sure I just have it on function left alt, so it's not you know causing me issues of not having it. So I think that might be my favorite layout personally. But right now, I just have a 7U bottom row standard 60% with a split backspace. I actually have it. This is my main board at the moment. I'll show it off. GMK Camping, best set ever. Fight me. This is the TX60 in antique brass. It's an amazing board. I got it in a couple weeks ago. I had a TX60. I have a TX60 gray HHKB, but I am a gamer and I need that left control. And I understand that people use the caps lock, but I'm not going to change.
And nor should you have to.
Exactly. Why would I have to? Why would I change?
Yeah.
What is your favorite layout?
I think mine, I love 65% and like the 65 and the 75%. I love having the arrow cluster and not having to sacrifice anything on the and in terms of the alphas. If you were to do one of those crazy ones where you flip the question mark to the opposite side for a 60%. I would say of all of the 65% or 75% layout options, my favorite is actually the one that both the orange 75 has it, and then also if you're looking at a 65, the KOU, where it has the little break between the arrows and your normal bottom row. So you have those are all still 1.25 space keys for the control and the alt. I guess in that place would be alt and function. But I like having that break and not having that third key and having it all be single keys. I think when you have it, that little space is aesthetically pleasing, and it also makes the bottom row, in my opinion, look a little bit more normal than if you sandwich those 3 keys and have full 6 keys on the bottom. So I'm really excited about that. I have decided that I am getting in on the Think 65, which has that same option available.
This is news to me.
yeah. So I decided that today. I don't know which color I'm gonna get yet. We'll see. I'm still thinking about it, but decided I'm gonna get in on that, and that's gonna be a little bit different. It's missing those two, the page up and page down. For at least that's how it's bound for me, which I do not use. I don't ever use page up, page down. So I'm excited for that board. But yeah, and then I'm still waiting. I've got an antique copper TX60 hopefully coming soon. So
it's a great board.
Y'all
Love the TX60.
will see that. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to put in it. Might try some things out. So yeah.
By the way, Supervan is the person that did the Holy Jesus Switch. Just have to make sure I give my proper shout outs to him. So first mechanical keyboard, not your first Apple laptop keyboard or your first
or the random Dell computer
keyboard that everybody
keyboard
ran into.
The one that costs like 2 cents to make.
And 3 cents to buy.
Yeah, so my first mechanical keyboard that I ever bought was actually not that long ago. It was a Ducky, just a Ducky 0, just a standard like line level, like not crazy RGB one, blue LEDs with cherry MX red switches. To be honest, for the longest time, because I didn't know what switches were, I thought it was browns because that was what was on the receipt, but it was not. It was reds, and I was surprised when I took the keycaps off. I was like, oh, okay. And then I did some research and I was like, oh, I guess these would have felt a lot different if they were browns. Um, so it was a great board. Obviously, it was a full size board. It wasn't a TKL or a mini or anything. But yeah, it's a great board. I still have it. I'm actually contemplating giving it to one of my buddies that I work with because he's interested in getting into gaming.
And that's how both of us got into the keyboard community, but got into computers and everything. It's just gaming and wanting to the experience of typing. I was told by our good friend in the Discord, Willio70, hey, get a mechanical keyboard. If you're going to be buying a new computer, you should do that. And I was like, whatever, do it. Let's slam it. And my first board was a Razer Black Widow Chroma with Razer green switches. I like clicky. And it was a cool board. I still have it. I don't know if I'll I kind of hold on to it, maybe for sentimental, but maybe out of laziness of not wanting to sell it. I still have it. It's a
Yeah.
great board for getting into mechanical keyboards. And then I guess Osiris and I kind of had the same next step at vastly different times of getting in. We both got a Tada. I'll let you talk about yours first.
Yeah, I have it here, like over here. So this is like the third variant of this board. Uh, this was my first custom built mechanical keyboard. It's a Tada 68. Now it's in an aluminum case. At the time I just bought the kit off of KBD Fans, and for honestly I think about a year I used it, and I had Gatoron browns in it. They were great. They were smooth. They were a little scratchy, but not too terribly scratchy. But yeah, stock keycaps. Again, Tada 68, if you want a 65% and you're not looking to spend a ton of money, it's a great option. It's $100, comes with caps. Just gotta buy switches, and you can get really whatever switch you want at this point from KBD Fans. When I bought mine, there wasn't really a whole lot of different switches available. It was before the box craze, and I think Zelios were still doing rounds at that point, so they weren't like 100% available as they are right now. So I didn't have quite as many options as I do now, and obviously didn't have a ton of knowledge. But I used it strictly at work for a long time because I really loved the layout, and I felt like I needed the full size board at home, which was really weird, but I felt like I needed the number pad because I played a lot of CS:GO, and I used the number pad for my buy binds, so I could just like quickly press keys on the number pad. But then I decided, hey, I don't really need to do that. I can just click things. So, and then the second variant was basically about a year and a half later, whenever Chewy decided he wanted to get in mechanical keyboards. I basically bought everything to make this keyboard what it is now, which is it's in the aluminum, kind of the low profile case, which I think is really nice. It's a really cool. I like the fact that you can see the switch tops. I think it's a unique look and still really sleek. It's great for traveling too. It's got the Kale Pro Purple switches, which are actually lubed. It's probably not the best lube job because I didn't really know 100% what I was doing. And it was a pain in the behind to get these freaking switch tops off when you don't know what you're doing. I was literally just sitting there with a screwdriver and my fingernails trying to pop each top off. But I did it, and it works out really well, and it feels nice. The Pro Purples, they're not Pro Purples, they're the Pro Plums. Sorry, these are the heavy variant. So they're like a 95 gram spring, so they're really heavy. So it's really nice to type on. You don't really bottom out very often. I upgraded the keycaps to DSA Legacy, which I really like the aesthetic of, and I actually really do like DSA. So yeah, it's been a good board. I still have it. It's kind of my travel board at this point. I'm probably gonna repurpose these caps for something else, for one of the builds I've got coming in. But yeah, I like it. What about
Yeah.
you, Chewy?
Well, you built my Tada because I was like, whatever, like custom keyboard, why not? And I remember at first I was like, I just want these keycaps to look awesome. I just want keycaps, and I we must have talked for a few weeks trying to find the right keycap set, and I finally, and then I was like, group buys, what on earth is what are we even talking about with group buys and all that? So I finally on Kono found Max Key SA Lime, and I was like, there it is, done, sold. Do this. Putting $100 on keycaps. What am I doing with my life?
He spent
Um,
more. He spent the same he spent on the board.
Bored as I did on the keycaps. I was like, whatever. I had the weirdest switch layout because I put burgundies, kale burgundies, in the WASD space and shift because at the time I was using MX Reds on a Master Keys Pro M, which is still a pretty awesome layout.
It
Just
is.
saying, I mean, that was basically a 96 key without arrow keys, but you had to it was mapped on the numpad. But um, and then I really wanted clicky again, so every other key was a pro green from Kale. And I was suggested at the time I was also using the little rubber dampening like pieces for your keycaps, so it was not as harsh of a bottom out. And then I remember I ordered a switch tester after I ordered all the pieces. My big mistake. I will run this into the ground, get a switch tester before you buy a board. And I was like, oh, these box whites are amazing. So I immediately bought some box whites and I
And
bought a
to
soldering iron.
to be fair, I had said I
He
think
said,
you
get
should
box
get
whites. He
box
said,
whites.
I think you really would like box whites. And I didn't listen because you couldn't use the little dampener things. And I just don't care about those now. But, you live and you learn. And so I guess the first one that I built was desoldering all of those switches, which was a nightmare. If you've ever desoldered, you understand. And put box whites in it. Unfortunately, that board has been sold. I traded out after realizing I didn't care about the WASD keys. Or not WASD. I didn't care about WASD. I didn't care about the arrow keys, and I use like my function is my caps lock. So I use my caps lock and hold that down for WASD for my arrows. And then once I realized I use that more arrow keys, and um, so that's why I think 60% is just a fantastic. That's my favorite layout. And the rest is history. Lots of boards.
It is
So
funny when someone that doesn't know that your caps lock is your function layer tries to use your board, because then they go to try to press caps lock and then they're just not actually typing in
yeah, and they're
caps.
just, what's going on? Why is this happening? It's the board's. Um. So and then recently, like probably that was a little over a year ago, and then about 4 or 5 months ago, I realized that I ordered the tofu, and I was like, all right, well, I have to go split backspace, so might as well try it out, and really liked it, and now I'm on split backspace. But back then it was just the standard. There's only like one layout you can get on the Tada, so
Yeah, yeah. I'm also looking at moving to kind of not 100% copy Chewie's layouts, but kind of mimic them a little bit as I get my first true 60% in the TX60. I'm excited to
good
be
one.
able to see how that caps lock function and WASD arrow keys are.
And then soon you'll completely forget 65% the thing.
Except for I'm never gonna get rid of my orange 75 because
No,
it
God.
is
Well,
beautiful.
yeah, that's a 75%. That's
That's
completely
true. Yeah,
F row.
those F keys they do come in handy at work. Uh, it is nice to have those. And I never realized how much I use the delete key. Um,
I have my delete mapped to my escape, so just function escape, and I do use mine quite frequently, but it's very once again it's easy with the map. Shout out to 001 Anthony. He showed me I got a KBD 75 from him, and he showed me this. He was like, "Hey, I just pre-programmed this layout," and he's the one that introduced me to this layout, and I was like, "This is awesome." So Anthony, he's a good friend of mine. He lives relatively close, and he does streaming on Friday nights and Monday nights. So shout out to him. He showed me a lot about keyboards as well as Eric, of course, or Osiris, whatever. His name's Eric.
yeah,
If
you
you
can call
haven't
me Eric.
figured that out. So it's been a weird adventure trying to find exactly what I want out of a keyboard, but that's how I landed on it. So, but that'll pretty much wrap it up. We could sit here and talk for hours, but we have other Fridays that we can freely talk on, if you will. If you want to join us, hit us up in the Discord. We're always there. You can just message us, and we'll be happy to have you on. You don't need a webcam. If you have one, great. We'll throw you up there. We want to talk to you about keyboards. That's all.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. We're recording this. Today's Wednesday, April 10th. So technically, it's not freely talking on Friday, but this will go up on Fridays. But if you want to talk to us, we'll set up a time and we'll talk to you, and it'll be fun. And we're excited. We're getting awesome feedback, and thank you guys for the support on our podcasts. If you guys have topics for the podcast you want us to go over as well, please feel free to let us know. So, and we've got some exciting episodes coming up with some exciting people.
Yeah, we're excited about some of the guests that we're looking to have come on the show. Like Chewy said, if there's something you want us to talk about, whether it's a podcast topic or something you just want us to answer, we'll have a space in the Discord to where you can put those questions, and we'll answer them, whether it's in the Discord itself or if we make a whole podcast about it or bring it up on Free Talk Fridays.
We can do a Q&A. That's that's well within our abilities. So
we are here to please y'all and get our information, as much information out as we possibly can. We want to be we want to be about the community and have the community have a big input in what happens on this show and on this channel.
As Brian from Top Clec said, we're growing together.
Yeah, it's all about growing together. This is a small community that I feel like is on the verge of exploding, and it just needs a couple people to really bring it into light. And so we're trying to make sure that we can do everything we can to spread the word about this great hobby, because let's be honest, most of us type on a keyboard for probably at least 5 hours a day for our job. The other 3 hours are probably farting around or talking next to the water cooler, but for the most part, we're typing on a keyboard, and we all know it's a lot better to type on a keyboard that you are proud of, that you enjoy your time sitting in front of, and you do miss when you go home at night. So yeah, we're excited and we can't wait for more. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We definitely appreciate all the support, and have a good weekend.
We'll see you guys Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.